As you can see, this is the first screen that's presented to you after opening up NovaBACKUP. This is the Home tab. This includes such things as recent jobs that I've done, such as logs. As you can see here, you simply click on this. It will open up the log, and you can view the contents. You can print this, save it. This also has other things such as scheduled jobs. Any schedules that you may have will show up here, and you can edit these from here as well. There is a settings section, which if you want to change any advanced settings in the program, you are welcome to do so. More importantly is the other portions of the Home tab, such as the Smart Select, which we talked before. It includes things such as the My Documents, music, email, pictures, etc. In the middle here, even more importantly, is the wizards that we discussed before as well, making it that much easier to navigate through NovaBACKUP program. Also included on the Home tab, you are going to see the online storage and the other utilities section. Run job is just what it says. You can certainly run any script that you actually have configured right now. Open job, which means you can make any changes if you'd like, but we will get back to that later, including the online storage portion. One more important thing that I'd really like to point out is for you first-time users, things can get a little overbearing, so I do want to point this out down here, which is the basic mode. This actually simplifies the interface for you, making it easier to actually execute the more important features of a backup program, such as the backup itself, the copy command, restore, and disastery. As you can see, these are all wizard driven. Okay, and what we're going to do is start off with the backup wizard. Walk through a real simple job showing you just how easy it is to navigate through the interface. So the first part, you can either select either one of the Smart Selects, which we've talked about before, or you can do manually, which I'm going to do. As you can see here, it's a complete Explorer interface, just like in Windows, making it easy to find the data that you want to back up, such as my home folder here. I have all the documents I'm going to go ahead and back up. Okay, you can actually name the job anything you want. I'm going to go ahead and just keep it by the default, which you can see there says My Backup. Backup destination. These are what we were talking about, all the available devices that you can actually back up to. As you can see here, I have my DVD drive, this data drive, which is an actual USB hard drive. I'm going to go ahead and select this. As you can see here, here's the write modes. I'm going to go ahead and leave it to overwrite, which explains exactly what it's going to do, and the backup mode that it's actually going to back up as, which it also says right here, it will back up all selected files. Here are the other various different options that you can actually configure going through the wizard of NovaBACKUP. The tips are very intuitive over here. You can go through them, gives you extra information. As you can see here, the various different options that you can actually have. Okay, getting to the scheduling portion, you have the option to do run now, of course, as it is by default right away. You can do this just one single time, minute, hourly, daily, weekly, monthly. So you have quite a few options there, and you can choose whatever one suits your needs best. Okay, I'm just going to run this right now, so I'm going to go ahead and hit finish. As you can see here, this is the status screen, very informative, very well laid out. As you can see, the device name it's going to. The backup went pretty quick, so you can't actually see the time, but it will tell you the remaining time here, how long it's actually been currently running, the size, and total files. Okay, just as every essential backup program backs up, sometimes you might actually need to restore. So we're actually going to go ahead and go through a restore wizard as well. In the media view up here, this will actually catalog or keep track of all the different backups and actually the devices that you have backed up to. Of course, we just back this up to disk, and you can see your backup job is right here. It will list it just as it did before in the selection screen, making it easy to decide what you want to actually restore. So you can either restore everything, a portion, it's really up to you. Okay, here's just some other options. We do have the default options there, of course, and again, there is the tips over here explaining further what these options actually do. Something to point out is nice, it's the original location, so when I do restore this document, it will overwrite if something is in there, but it is nice, the original location, so that way you don't have to drag the file somewhere else. But just in case you do want to put it anywhere else on the computer, you certainly can do so by using the alternate location and browsing to wherever you would actually like to put the file. In this case, however, I am just going to go ahead and restore to the original location. And again, with the scheduling, however, I would just like to run this now. As you can see again, the informative status screen telling you how many files you are actually going to restore, the size, the device it was coming from, and of course the status. If I had multiple files, you will see that the progress will go across the screen complete, but I only had one. So it did go across and it's finished. Okay, back on the actual Home tab, I'm going to show you another wizard, a very important one, called the Disaster Recovery Wizard. This is the portion of the program where we talked about making a complete image of your computer. As you can see here, there's two different options, one being the schedule portion and the other one being the manual, such as you can go ahead and image the machine manually or set up a certain amount of time frequency, such as weekly, daily, which we'll go ahead and get into because that is the option I'm actually going to pick, the disaster recovery scheduling portion. As you can see here, it does show all the drives connected to my machine, but obviously the most important one that you will find yourself making an image of is the disk 0, which includes, well, most times includes the actual operating system, which obviously is the most important part to image. So I'll go ahead and simply put a check mark next to this and hit next. I will name this whatever I would like, so I'm going to put NovaBACKUP, standing for Disaster Recovery Backup. Again, with the destination, this can go to any local attached storage that you have. Again, I'm going to go ahead and utilize my USB hard drive. Okay. This is the portion where you can actually password protect your disaster recovery backup, just making a little extra secure if you would like. Some home users like it, some don't. It's actually your choice. You're not forced to. In this case, I'm not going to choose to actually password protect it, but again, it's totally up to you. Okay, back to the schedule. You'll find this is very similar, if not identical almost, to the backup schedule. We can do it one time, minute, hourly, daily. I'm going to actually go ahead and choose the weekly. Okay, before you proceed down any further, you must give it an actual job name. So you click in this field, simply name it whatever you would like. And then hit save. Okay, down into the next field, where there seems to be some confusion sometimes and a lot of questions, is actually the credentials portion of this. What it's referring to here, and I'm just going to go through each one, is the domain name / computer name. So in this case, as you can see, it's auto-filled, so it makes it a little easier for you. Imposter is the name of my computer. And in the next blank here, this is run as username. So this would be just like on anybody's home PC, they have a user that they actually use to get into their machine. This will also be pre-filled, making it easier for you. Now down to the password field. If you don't actually have a password, you don't have to worry about it. Don't fill it in. Just go ahead and leave it blank. In this case, I do have one. And actually, to confirm that I didn't mistype anything, I can hit check credentials and access is granted. So that means I actually put in everything correctly. As you can see over here, you can choose when you first want to run this. You can obviously go ahead in the calendar anytime you want. I'm just going to go ahead and pick Thursday here. You can repeat this any amount of times, 1 week, 2 week, whatever suits you best. Okay, it's a matter of actually just go ahead and simply hit and finish, and I'm done. As you can see over here, as I mentioned before, on the home screen it is informational, and my next scheduled job is currently showing this time and this date.